This is the Data Privacy Detective. It's January 2025 when I talk to you, and if there's one New Year's resolution to make and actually follow this year, 2025, in the world of data privacy, it's Passkeys. So sign up now for the great migration from passwords to passkeys. It's worth the time. I know spending time on your tech stuff's annoying. It's a little like certain regular exams men and women endure. They're good for our health, we know that, but who likes to be probed in our private parts, even if we know it's best for our physical preservation? Well, for our digital health and the protection of our privacy and our assets, I recommend that we make 2025 the year of the passkey. So let me explain why this is my top tip for this new year of 2025. What is a passkey and how's it different from passwords? Well, let's consider history. Now, we don't have to go back to when the word computer first appeared in English. That may have been in 1613. When Richard Brathwaite used it in a poem to describe a person who does calculations, someone who computes. And it wasn't until the 1940s that computer began to refer to a device instead of an occupational classification. But when websites really arose, I signed up for one and then two and then all of a sudden a lot. And to ensure that I would have personalized access to the site, the website needed my email address, of course, which I had provided in signing up for the website. And then it asked me to create and provide a password so that only I could interact with the site from my email address. Now, when you think about it, this was a means of creating a private key for my devices as I interacted with a website. So if someone else sent my email address but didn't know my password, the website would declare, hey, it's not me, it's an imposter. The door to me would not open. I was safe. But wait, it wasn't safe. Enter hackers and data thieves, a robust profession globally. By stealing passwords, a hacker could go to a site and pretend to be me by providing both my email address and my password. Now, that had two distinct results. One was ongoing and increasing theft of millions of identities and losses of increasing billions of dollars over the years, increasing each year. And it also created the need for us to create and keep ever more complicated and longer passwords. We began to create and keep booklets of lists of passwords, and then we would have to change them on a regular basis, and if we wanted to preserve our digital safety. Or we began to employ password managers. That was a new type of data service that offered to create and store passwords for us. But that was not a foolproof solution either. And let's face it, password managers weren't really entirely intuitive to use over time. And they overlapped when we already had passwords and became complicated how to move from one thing to another. So I forgot my password became a pastime for us. When we couldn't remember a password or we couldn't read what we'd written on our password list, we would go to, I forgot my password, and then we'd have a new one, and we'd have to write that one down and remember it. Okay. Well, enter 2SV or MFA. Oh, hard acronyms, great. Two-step verification or multi-factor authentication. For sensitive personal information like financial, banking, medical stuff, this change declared that an email address and password were not enough. to provide access to a website that we use, that we would need to take an extra step of getting a phone call or a text message or other message from a website, and then enter a code they provided saying, yes, it's really myself trying to use the site. Well, MFA or 2SV is today the primary privacy practice for sensitive personal data as of the year 2024 anyway. But that too is subject to risks from actors. And it takes extra time for us as we expect lightning speed when we are using our digital devices. Well, enter passkeys. So what's a passkey? Well, it's a form of authentication technology that allows us to create online accounts and sign on to them by using just a fingerprint or facial recognition or a device PIN. A passkey replaces passwords. Once you've set up a passkey with a website, it's easier to use, more instantaneous, and it's more secure. Think of it as a peephole on a door, where the website lets you through its digital door by peeping through, looking at you and saying, oh, yes, it's really you trying to enter. There's no need then to have you type symbols as a password and then use a second message and send it back and respond with a numbered code to get into the website. Well, Google, Microsoft, and others are pushing passkey technology and even forcibly requiring many users to convert to passkeys. Well, why is that? Well, it's because of an overarching interest that the tech world has in protecting the security and data privacy of all of us as digital persons. If we don't trust the infrastructure of a digital business, if hackers can steal our wealth and identities because of how it fails to work well, the digital age can become an era of doom and disaster. So governments and private sector industry groups are doing standard setting, requiring passkeys instead of earlier technology as best practices. You will see increasing flows of messages about how passkeys are the future of online experience. I would say in January 2025 that passkeys are the present of data security best practices. Well, how hard will it be to convert to passkeys? Well, conversion will take some time, but I found it surprisingly quick to move from passkeys with my Google managed computer and my iPhone. No more than 10 minutes. I will need to have my iPhone with me when I'm accessing a site on my computer using a passkey, but that's not an inconvenience. And my well-worn password booklet should someday become an historic relic. Like the green and white lined paper I used to get when I was able to get a half hour of time from the mainframe on my college campus 50 plus years ago. So if there's one data privacy resolution to make and implement in 2025, I recommend moving to passkeys. The sooner you do it, the more time you will save in the future. And you're less likely to become a victim of the theft of your assets and your identity. So happy New Year, listeners, to the year 2025. Make it the year of the passkey. And as always, I'll conclude by reminding us all, protecting your personal data and privacy begins with you.